Everyone up here in New England knows about the amusement park Storyland in New Hampshire. But what some of you might not know is there is a much smaller, somewhat the same kind of land in Rhode Island, or there was at least. This is the Enchanted Forest. Now, if those pictures of the intro do not give it away, this amusement park is no longer functioning. This amusement park was actually shut down in 2005 after originally being opened in 1971. Apparently, when it was originally abandoned in 2005, everything was left there to just rot. There was rides, there was a small miniature golf course, there was a small roller coaster, there was a big old lady who lived in the shoe building, which had a slide that was down it. There were pirate ships, there was a bumper car area, there was tons of stuff that was just left there and could be seen from both the road and from Google Maps. The original sign that was what the intro picture was actually originally had a Humpty Dumpty sitting on the middle of the sign, but that was unfortunately removed by either vandals or sold off to some other company. This land actually was eventually actually sold to a private developer, but as of current, not a whole lot has been done with the land. As we've seen, we went and visited just about a year and a half ago, it was still very wooded. There was only a few remaining buildings, however, as nature had reclaimed almost all of it, as well as parts of it being stolen or just completely destroyed, or maybe even sold off. When I visited, there was a pretty important piece that was actually still there, which was the bumper cars, actually. It was just the track, but it was very obvious that that is where the bumper cars used to be. I was also able to find the miniature golf course, which still had the chains around some of the area to keep the guests out while the other kids played in the golf course. Unfortunately, I couldn't get pictures of that, as it didn't really show up, as the golf course, which was already had green turf, was so overgrown by trees and grass, it just looked like a little field at this point. One of the other buildings I was actually able to find was one of the old buildings that was probably a schoolhouse, perhaps, or maybe a oversized chicken coop. I don't know. Whatever this building was, it was one of the few buildings that was actually left standing. And we could actually go inside of it, though I don't have any pictures. Inside was, of course, covered with graffiti and was vandalized to a heavy extent. But also, the building was falling down almost completely at this point. So it was very dangerous to remain inside for more than a couple seconds. I was also able to find a barn, which possibly held animals from when they had a petting zoo, which was one of its main attractions when it was in action over those 20 acres of land. The building, however, was even more dilapidated than the last one, as shown in this picture, so we didn't even attempt to go through, as well as being entirely overgrown by nature at this point. All in all, the Enchanted Forest did finally close in 2005 due to a low money flow, as most amusement parks in this area couldn't keep up with the short seasons of New England, as most shows and most amusement parks were closed for a large part of the season, over half of the year, as an off season during the fall, winter, and beginning of spring months. There was no cash flow. So the money dried up and the place closed. Unfortunately, I was personally never able to experience it, but I was able to rustle up a few testimonies that I saw on a couple different sites, which said that it was a lot of fun and it was good to go to as a young child in the 90s. And it sparked many young memories, and people were sad to see it eventually fade into obscurity, where it's just a blue sign on the side of the road as you're driving past at like 40 miles an hour. Such is the very mysterious history of the Enchanted Forest of Rhode Island, a small-time amusement park which was lost to history and only recently discovered just to be destroyed fully and redeveloped, as are the plans for the future, as there now is a large gate around the whole area and trees are being cut down to make way for new developments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe next week we'll find the more famous amusement park of Rhode Island that has been lost to history, Rocky Neck. I will see you all next time. Ta-ta for now.